So, yeah. Okay, great. So we are live and welcome to another webinar from our series of the subject webinars. Thanks everyone for joining already. My name is Georgi, as you might already know, and yeah, as always, the least interesting person for you during these webinars. As you can see, we have some guests. More will join during the webinar, so stay tuned. Let me tell you, for those who are new to the webinar setting of Zoom, there is some basic rules, not rules, but suggestions, so to say. You can see the Q&A button just next to the chat button. So this is the main communication line between you and us, if you wish. So you can send in their questions already, actually starting from now until the very end of the webinar. So you will have a bit more than 1 hour for that to send in your questions. And then one of our speakers will answer you directly within this chat box. Or you can also wait for some time and you will get your answer directly live by our speakers during our live Q&A session. So the live Q&A session will start in around 1 hour. And so that's why if your question has not been answered yet, it means that we are reserving it for the live Q&A session as well. Also keep an eye on the chat because we will be sending some information also in the chat that might be useful for you. Okay, long story short, let me now jump into my part of the presentation, a very short part, and then we will start with our guests. So today's topic is studying communication and media studies in Germany. And of course, we have some guests who will talk about this topic, who will introduce their specific study program. So from DW Academy, we have two guests, Irene Najemba and Mariana Varsamu, and they will talk about MA level program in international media studies. Then we'll move to Technische Universität Ilmenau, Dr. Andreas Schwarz. Hopefully he'll manage to join, and he will talk about Master of Arts level program in Media and Communication Science. And then we'll close the show with our guest from Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences, Professor Philipp Hausmeier, and he will talk about bachelor level program in Augmented and Virtual Reality Design. Maybe you knew this program before. It was known as Expanded Realities, and now there is also name change, so you can also take the note. All right, so who is behind today's webinar? So maybe you know, maybe don't. So it is my German university. When you're searching for the programs, at least mostly English taught study programs in Germany, our name, I'm almost sure, will pop up there. So we help international students who would like to study in Germany, to put it really shortly, and we do it through three key ways. We have a study finder, and you can see now on your screens the study finder, but it's a small version of it. When you go to our website, you will be able to see the full version of our study finder with all of its filters. You can find the programs in Germany according to the city, for example, according to location, according to language of instruction, for example, according to the fees, free or up to something like up to a particular number of fees. Also, according to the admission procedure, for example, does the program require uni-assist application or not? Or can you qualify for 6.5 IELTS, for example? Yeah, it can even go that much specific. That's why it's a very nice tool to narrow down your choice and make your search for the right study program much more effective and time efficient. The second way of helping you is through writing up articles, of course, related to studying in Germany. For example, if you need APS certificate and you need to find out what you should do, we have articles on that. If you need to write a letter of motivation for a visa, for scholarship, for the program, we have these articles for you. We have rankings, articles about international rankings, domestic rankings, about Studienkolleg, about studying medicine, and so on and so forth. Lots of topics are covered. We do a deep dive, and my suggestion would be for you to take a look at your leisure, and yeah, it's for free. And my suggestion would be, yeah, take a look at it. And the third way of helping you is through organizing webinars. So we have approximately 150 webinars per year on various topics. It can be a general studying in Germany webinar where we talk about all topics, little by little. We have a scholarship webinar, we have visa webinar, we have uni-assist webinar, and more will be added. Also, we have subject webinars like the one that you're attending right now, for example, about communication and media studies, but we also have webinars about political science, mechanical engineering, I don't know, electrical engineering, business administration, management, and so on and so forth. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can find them on our website, mygermanuniversity.com, and you can sign up for these webinars for free and, of course, attend them for free, and meet the representatives of your future, for example, universities or study programs directly, which is a great opportunity for you when you can directly ask the questions also to the people from the university. And last but not least, our team is based in Hamburg, in northern part of Germany, which is thankfully a bit more sunny than it usually is. We are based also in different parts of Germany, and we are counseling also in different parts of the world, actually, and we are counseling in different languages. So for those who are also interested in German taught study programs, I would also suggest you to check out 𝘱𝑢𝘪𝑘ompass, another database. But for those who are more into English taught study programs, and I suppose most of you, if not all, are, then my suggestion would be, of course, my German university's Study Finder. So there you will find more than 100 degree programs related to the topic of communication and media studies, and you will find bachelor programs and also master's programs, and you see that many of them are in English only, which means that you will not need any knowledge of German to get into those programs, and in most cases to successfully complete them, which is important. Also, if you do not know what to expect when it comes to studying communication science or media studies in Germany, we also have specific subject pages for each of these subjects where you can find generic information about, for example, what are the universities that are offering subjects in these disciplines, what are the rankings of these universities, what are the tuition fee ranges if you want to study these subjects in Germany, what are the requirements that you should definitely be aware of, and more, so on and so forth. And I will also put in the chat some of the links also to the subject pages. So when you're searching for the right program in university, my suggestion would be not to be guided only by single aspects, but okay, I only want programs in particular city, like Berlin or Munich, right? Yeah, of course, they are great. They have great universities and so on and so forth. They don't need my advertisement, and I'm not doing it. But Germany is much more than that. There are many cities in Germany, many towns with great universities offering a high quality education. So in order to make sure that you found the right university and fitting program, you have to take into account, of course, the cities, of course, the rankings, the fees, also much more. Also the curriculums, for example, based on your interest and your future career aspirations. When you take into account all these aspects together, not separately, then your chances of making the right choice will be drastically increased, of course. Also, I would like to underline this, that in Germany, there are two key types of universities. One is called Universität type of university. Another one is called University of Applied Sciences. In German, it has some variations in names. For example, Hochschule, Fachhochschule are some of them. And you can see that the key difference actually between them on a general level is in focus. So when we are talking about Universität type of university, the focus is usually more onto research and theory. And in case of University of Applied Sciences, we are more usually talking about application and practice. And last but not least, in addition to aspects that I mentioned before that you should take into account while searching for the right program, also my suggestion would be when you're searching for the programs in our study finder, be a little bit more flexible with wordings. Don't be too rigid. By doing that, you will increase your chances of increasing your awareness, so to say, about what Germany is able to offer you based on your interests and your aspirations. And by doing that, once again, you will have more opportunities and more chances of making the right decision, which is one of the crucial steps towards your successful career. That being said, let us now move more to the central west part of Germany, so to say, and Deutsche Welle Academy. We have a guest from there, and they will talk about MA International in International Media Studies. This is a study program's name, and now I will stop my screen share and invite our guests from DW to take the floor. Please.
So, hello and welcome from me. I'm Mariana Versamo, and I am working for the IMS program as a research associate. And together with my colleague Irene, we will present the program to you. Maybe you will start then now. Welcome people as well.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Irene Najemba, and I work as a research associate as well in the International Media Studies program. And we will be presenting our program to you today. Now we move on to the next slide. Yes. So we will first give you a brief background on our program, and then we will delve into further details later. So our program had its first intake in 2009 with 2 cooperation partners that my colleague will present to you in the next slide. And it's a 4-semester master program that is conducted in English in Bonn. So students have to travel to Bonn and live in Bonn for this program. And for admission, we admit about 25 to 35 students each year. We receive many applications. However, we can only admit 25 to 35 students, and it's a very small, focused, and well-connected group. And it fosters a very good environment for learning and collaborating with one another, and also for the intercultural exchange that is really important for our international media studies profile. So far, since 2009, we have had about 260 graduates from 68 countries, for almost 70 countries. So you can see that it's a very international program with people from all over the world. Usually we don't have more than 2 students, more or less, from the same country. So it's a very big avenue for intercultural exchange and learning from different cultures and different journalistic education systems, different journalistic practices. And our students have had a great experience with it, as so have we as well. And this is also reflected in the faculty and the lecturers that teach. They usually also come from different regions of the world.
As my colleague told you, the International Media Studies program is offered in collaboration with 3 partner university institutions. So 𝘗𝘪𝘵𝘠𝘪𝘥, where the classes are taking place, the University of Applied Sciences of Bonn-Rhein-Sieg, which undertakes all administrative issues, the application procedure, the academic inscriptions, the organization of the exams. There's also the library there, although there's also a library in 𝘗𝘪𝘵𝘠𝑪. And you will also have a 3rd library with our partner university, the University of Bonn, where some classes are also taught there, such as media ethics for the moment. We can, Irene?
So you might be wondering, maybe if you're interested in this program and would like to apply for this intake, if you're eligible, or if you need to be a journalist strictly, since the program is offered by DW. We just want to share with you where our students usually come from and which backgrounds they have. And as you can see here, it's a very diverse background, not only in terms of the countries they come from, but the fields where they work. So they can be people who are practicing journalism or media in the different formats. It could be radio, TV, online, or print. But they're also working maybe in community media, for example, community radio stations. Sometimes they also work in the communication department. So if someone is a communication manager at international organizations, some of them are entrepreneurs, or they have founded their own journalistic associations or media associations in the respective countries where they come from. And also NGOs, public or international organizations and ministries are some of the areas where our students come from and also end up working later on when they complete the program.
As you see here, the International Media Studies program consists of 4 semesters. In their first year, students acquire key knowledge and competences that will help them follow the program successfully. In particular, in the first semester, they have a lot of introductory courses. For example, in journalism, they have journalistic writing or journalism theories. Then the course of academic work, where students are prepared for writing their term paper assignments and the first steps for preparing their master thesis. There's also the course of intercultural communication, which is one of the most important because the program is so international. And so the students see how they can successfully and learn how they can successfully adapt to this new and multicultural environment. During the second semester, the courses which are offered are much more advanced. For example, there are empirical methods where we really learn methodological approaches, how to carry out academic research. In journalism, we go deeper and learn about journalistic reporting, for example, in situations of conflict and crisis. Human resources management and marketing are some of the courses. The third semester, it's much more practical oriented, although there are also some theoretical courses. For example, in terms of practice, there are study projects in both media and communication science. There are so-called media practical afternoons where students get to meet with experts from Deutsche Welle or outside from other channels. There's also the advanced empirical methods where students learn to work with a statistical software that they may be used for their master thesis to collect data. And finally, for the fourth semester, the students will write their thesis.
So with all that being said, we would also like to present to you the content side of our program after hearing about the timeline. Generally, as you can see here, we have a philosophy that guides our program, and you can see in the arrow below 3 major elements, which is that our program is international. That represents, of course, the students as well as the lecturers and the staff. And in terms of content, it's interdisciplinary. So a lot of different areas that are relevant to media are considered, not only strictly journalism or media. It's politics, society, development, ethics, law, globalization, and others that I will share. And then we also try to strike a balance between theory and practice, as my colleague has already said. And within that, we have 4 different major areas that we focus on. And the first one is media and development. In this area, you might find courses like comparative media systems, which looks at the different media landscapes in different regions of the world and how they can be categorized or classified, and tries to find definitions, models of how to look at media systems and how they operate. We have journalism, the focus area of journalism, where you would now focus on the theories of journalism, but also practical parts like research, actually carrying out research and writing articles or interviewing people. In this part, you would also think of the different journalistic forums and types and formats, and also practice them with one of our lecturers, and how they differ, which ones are relevant, and which ones are, suitable for whatever situation that you need to report on as a journalist. Then we have a third focus area, which is media management. This looks at people who might want to become managers of media companies later on, or head media organizations. So you will look at media economics. First of all, how are media companies organized in the context of economics? You would look at human resource management. How can someone who's a media manager organize their personnel? Which different forms of human resource management exist? How are newsrooms organized? What are the pressures that media companies are facing today? And other relevant topics. Then you will delve deeper and go into editorial management, but also other aspects such as PR, public relations. You would look at project management within a media organizations. those are some of the topics that that area focuses on. In the fourth area, communication science, you would also include discussions about different media or communication theories that basically explain communication and media and how that relates with our society today and the different factors that play a role in that. You would, which is a very relevant topic today, look at new media or media convergence. How are the different forms of media coming together? Which pressures are they asserting on one another? How can they be combined? How can they be harnessed to communicate messages? So it's very different topics, but the key is always that it's interdisciplinary and many different relevant factors are considered in each of the topics, so that you have an overall or comprehensive view of media and not focusing on just one thing.
We would like now also to share with you some of the media practice courses or electives they're offered in the program. In fact, during every semester, there is a so-called media practice week, and there the students do not have other classes, but they dedicate their day, the whole week, in a specializing workshop. For example, examples of our classes are in interviewing, shooting and editing, on-site reporting, or classes about workshop on creative journalism. One of the most popular workshops is environmental communication and also fact-checking. And gaining in importance is data journalism and, of course, artificial intelligence. During this workshop on artificial intelligence, people learn the basics and navigate issues of all digital data, and also data and security are discussed. There are also other workshops that have been given in the past. For instance, mobile journalism, Adobe After Effects, management of an NGO, and every year new are added to the list. Eileen?
So another aspect of our program is that the students are offered, we try every year, at least that has been the case so far, to offer a research project. This is an extracurricular, which is not graded, but for the students that are interested in carrying out research or practicing research, they can take up this opportunity. And some of the research projects that we have done in the past, last year was, for example, in the area of media and gender. Students looked at the influence of algorithms on gender representation on the social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok, among teenagers, basically, in Germany. And I think for this, they conducted a qualitative study and sent out a survey and evaluated the results with the guidance of a lecturer. They also looked at the sexualization of women in portrayals by AI image generators. And the year before, we had looked at media literacy, and this research project focused on the conception and implementation of media and literacy programs for youth as well, and also considered the context of the digital era. At the same time, that year we had two projects. The other project was on media and migration, and this looked at the role of journalists in the coverage of migrants and refugees. And two students also continued with this topic and used it for their master thesis, which is also an option that students have. So if you have worked on a research project, usually in the summer semester, you are able to continue with that topic for your master thesis and just develop an individual focus that you would like to take. Another very popular research project among the students is conducting a participant survey at the DW Global Media Forum, if some of you have maybe heard of it or maybe attended it as well. Depending on the overall theme for the Global Media Forum, the students prepare in their empirical methods class survey and ask the participants about that specific topic. And this year they asked them about the role of journalists in overcoming divisions. So this is something that is very popular among the students because they get to attend the Global Media Forum and interact with the experts and different media practitioners from all over the world and get an idea of what they are thinking about a current topic.
Yes, now we come a little bit to more concrete issues. As you'll see on the slide, there are some fees that you will have to pay. For the tuition fees for Deutsche Welle Academy are 6,000 euro in total, but you can pay them by monthly installments of 255 euros. Then you will have to pay the semester fees. This money is going to the university, to our partner university, to the University of Applied Sciences, Bonn-Leipzig, and all students have to pay. Not only the IMS students, but all students have to pay. It's about 330 euros, and this covers the social service contribution, public transport ticket, and student union fee. In total, your living expenses are there today are counted to be about 940 euros, including accommodation. There is also the International Media Studies program offers also 10 scholarships, which are given by the 𝘗𝘪𝘵. This scholarship covers tuition and semester fees, the living expenses, and one-way flight ticket to Bonn. The recipients, the scholarship holders, have to complete their fourth semester, that is, write their thesis in their home country. And also very important.
Yeah, so if you are interested in applying for our program, I'll just briefly outline the requirements. So what we require for our program is at least a bachelor's degree or an equivalent, depending on which country you come from. You might have an advanced diploma or something like that. As long as it's equivalent to a bachelor's degree, you can apply. And the subject of your bachelor's degree does not have to be in media, communication, or journalism. It could be, for example, in engineering or in medicine or in social studies, whatever you studied before. However, it is important that you have at least 1 year of media experience before you apply. And this media experience should have been acquired after you officially completed your bachelor's degree. So that is from the date of the official issuing of your bachelor's certificate. And if you're interested in applying for the DAAD scholarship, then you need 2 years of work experience after your bachelor's degree. What we also require as a third requirement is level C1 English language skills, which is probably not an issue for many people who have studied their bachelor's degree in English, where the official language is English. If that is not the case, of course, you can take an English language test, the IELTS or TOEFL, or another one that we accept. All the information is on our website. And the deadline is fast approaching. It will be at the end of February on the 29th. So if you're interested in our program and have not started your application yet, maybe some of you have, and you just attended this session to clear some last questions or doubts that you had, please start as soon as possible, and we look very much forward to receiving your application.
Yes, and thank you very much. You can see here the mail, our address mail where you can reach us, and also our URL where you can see much more, further information if you need concerning the international media studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for a very nice and informative presentation. And so my suggestion would be, we are waiting for our guests from Darmstadt. He will join very soon, but before he joins, I see there are quite a lot of questions. Maybe let's address already some of them. I saw you address some of them already in the written form, but there are that still came in. And my suggestion would be let's tackle some, and then towards the end, we'll continue with that again. So yeah, Irene, you are now answered the question. Let me ask you to voice it. How many applications do you receive for an IMS program every year, and how many usually get selected for the program on average, I would say?
So we receive roughly 500 to 600 applications every year. And as we had mentioned, we admit 25 to 35 students.
Okay, yeah, quite competitive, dear attendees. So make sure that you meet all the requirements.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in this case, you have to meet all the requirements, otherwise you will be out of competition. So good luck with that. The second question is, I have a 6-semester bachelor degree in environmental science and a 4-semester master degree in journalism. I'm very interested in IMS and especially the environmental journalism model. So your question is, do you qualify with this background, right? I suppose. And the answer from the DW would be, just based on the background, is it fine for you?
Okay.
Oh, we
Yes,
cannot hear you, Mariana. You are muted.
No problem. Yes, you have a 6-semester bachelor degree. That's fine. The subject does not matter. So even if it's in environmental science, of course, you can apply. If you're interested in applying for the scholarship, the DAAD scholarship, they have another criteria regarding people who have a master's degree already. If it's very close in terms of content to the master's degree that we offer in international media studies, the person might not be eligible because they are trying to give people a chance who have not been able to have a master's degree before. So this is something that you might have to keep in mind. Other than that, you can still apply for the program if you do not wish to pursue the DAAD scholarship.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And now, dear attendees, our guest from DW will continue addressing your questions in the written form, but we will still have a live Q&A in around 15 minutes after our guest from Darmstadt University. So he will present a program, a bachelor level program in augmented and virtual reality design, formerly known as expanded realities. And you can see where Darmstadt is located, also more to the southern part of Germany. And our guest is already here and he has the floor.
Hello, yeah, thank you very much, Georgie, for the invitation. Sorry for being a bit late. I had to jump into a class, but here I am, and I would love to talk to you about our study program, Augmented and Virtual Reality Design. There's a new name since this year. Formerly it was Expanded Realities. And if I may share my screen, if that's fine. Yeah, great.
Of course.
Then I can go into the presentation already. And I think you should see my screen. Everything should be okay.
Yes.
If there are any problems, please let me know. And I'm happy to answer the question in the Q&A session. So let me go through this presentation before. And what I'm going to do is just to optimize the video. I forgot to do that, to have the actual video function on. Now, augmented and virtual reality design. We're based here in Darmstadt, near Frankfurt, so very central in Germany. Before I will talk a little bit, I'll show you a video of our study program where it was still called Expanded Realities, and the introduction is made by my colleague, Professor Gabler, who was the founder, and a year ago when the video was made, also the study program director. I'm Philipp Hausmann, and I'm now the study program director, but more to that later.
Hi, my name is Frank Gabler, and I'm Professor of Media Technology here at the University of Applied Science, and I'm also the Program Director of the International Bachelor Expanded Realities. In my lectures, you will learn everything you need for developing interesting and challenging applications in the field of virtual, augmented, or mixed reality, as well as for the game or entertainment industry. We will also learn how to develop software in modern game engines, as well as how to conduct a proper scientific research, which is really important in our emerging field of expanded realities.
Hello, my name is Isabel. I love to learn coding in a study program. It helps us create worlds and explore them, and it opens up so many job possibilities in the future.
Hi, I'm Martin. I'm the studio engineer for Expanded Realities, and as such I'm responsible for the labs and studios and all the facilities, all the hardware and technical equipment. And I'm always on the lookout for the newest hardware that I can give to the students so they can use them on their cool projects.
Hi, I'm Jesko. What I like about the program is that we get to try out some of the latest technology and devices in the field of expanded realities.
Hi, I'm 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘕, Professor for Experience and Narrative Design here in Expanded Realities. I teach the students all about art and design principles, especially user experience, user interface, and narrative methods. We do a lot of iteration here using design thinking methods. In the end, what I want to see is a proof of concept the students develop that is usable and has a certain aesthetic quality. The students can apply these creative skills afterwards in the entertainment industry or in other sectors such as medical or engineering.
Hi, my name is Álvaro. I'm an international student from Ecuador. I really love the artistic focus of our study program. I do believe that VR is going to be the next step for art, and I love to be surrounded by like-minded professors and students.
Hello, my name is Paul Grimm, and I'm professor for software design and architecture of expanded realities. It's great to see that you can build a virtual duplicate of our world. In our study program of expanded realities, you will learn how to use these technologies for your own projects in industry and research. If you have any further questions, please go to our website. It would be great to welcome you to our study program very soon.
Okay, yeah, that's the video we made a year ago. Now we are changed to augmented and virtual reality design. We made this change because it makes it much clearer now what we are doing, and that's exactly what we are doing. We are developing content and design experiences for these media. As I said, I'm 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘕. I'm the study program director and also responsible for the design part. My colleague, the founder, is Frank Gabler. He is a professor for media technology and coding. And we met Mr. Grimm and Martin Streit. So this is kind of the core team, but we also have a lot of lecturers and external people here that are doing the courses in our program. So basically, what is it what we are doing? We are doing, of course, virtual reality experiences, mixed reality experiences. You probably saw already the Apple Vision Pro adverts that are coming up. So where actually the virtual and the physical are blending together. Augmented reality, more focusing on smartphones and tablets, so also more really kind of mainstream possibilities that we are implementing, and also exploring 360 filmmaking as well. So we cover the whole range of so-called extended reality, the whole range of what is possible with the virtual world. And for example, we are an international study program, so we speak in English, and we always have everybody also, 50% of our students are from all parts of the world, really, but more to that later. Here are some, this is where we are based, so it's near Frankfurt, so it's very central, located to the Frankfurt airport. Frankfurt is also a good spot to get into other places in Europe, and easy to get here. This is a campus, so it's like quite a nice old building, which is actually protected by cultural heritage, and it's a lot of open floors and yeah, open rooms. We have, of course, our labs, you know, with computers and everything that you need for developing interesting experiences. So we have all the hardware, the VR headsets, everything you need, and we always keep them up to date, because, of course, as students, we want you to provide the stuff that matters in the industry and in the research later on. And we are, of course, part of the so-called media campus. That means we are also working closely together with other study programs, such as motion pictures or animation and game or sound and music production. So you have actually access to all the other facilities here on our campus, like the film studio, the sound studio, and so on. And a lot of courses are interdisciplinary courses. Apart from our main courses, you can actually do other courses in the other study programs. What are examples of virtual reality and augmented reality? Obviously, games is a department that has been very influential in the last years, where with the Meta Quest from Facebook, you probably have seen that headset. This is a VR experience called Alex. So we were at games. This is, of course, a driving force in virtual reality worlds, but it's very important that to understand we are not a game program. So we incorporate games as well, but we are also focusing on other aspects of that where you can use these technologies, for example, in education, where you can really use the potential of three-dimensionality and 3D space and bodily interaction, because you can really move around with your body in these spaces, in these virtual spaces, so that you can teach students about history or chemistry, things that are otherwise difficult to visualize, and you can really get in touch with them through this medium and enhance it with the potential of the virtual. So you can add, all kinds of different information that you could not do in real life. Or for example, using gamified methods that you would learn about a certain part of history, but then you would get some points. Or for example, you can repeat a certain step in a mathematical task. And you can use all these kind of techniques to improve the students' learning. Another field that is very rich for this kind of development is the industry. So this is the Microsoft HoloLens. So it's a mixed reality glass where you have these holograms. And this is a digital twin of this machine. And you can place it, overlay it on the exact spot of the machine. And here, for example, for teaching new employees, you can show them already how the parts of the machine are operating, so they can already practice and understand how the machine is moving. So this is very helpful for maintenance purposes and also for remote work. Through this HoloLens, for example, you can have another camera in there, and a remote worker from another part of the world can give you the instructions while you are there and just execute these instructions, actually. So this is a huge range that is possible in our study program, and we are focusing on designing the experiences. So it's not just computer science that we are doing, but it's important for us that the user experience is very friendly and optimized. So we really have this very strong UX and user interaction design focus in our study program to make these experiences also enjoyable and meaningful. This is the thing, this medium is so new that you need to get the right feeling for your target group, for the users, to adopt this technology. And this is, I think, our USP compared to other study programs in the field, that we really emphasize the design part. And another aspect for a study program that is really important is not just a lecturer in front and you listen all the time. It's a small study program. So each year we take about 20-25 people, and they are working in teams and projects for projects in close touch with the professors and lecturers. Our philosophy is based on project-based learning. So you're really thrown into a project with your colleagues and start from scratch a new application, new idea. You start following the design thinking process. So we are first checking out the problem, or maybe the new project that is the project purpose that is being targeted. And then through iteration, first ideation, concepting, we are getting slowly to our application and then start to actually implement the actual experience there. So it's a lot of hands-on stuff. In the first semesters, you get the basics of modeling, coding, obviously. So technology and design are both playing a big part. We are a Bachelor of Arts, so it is a bit more focused on the design aspect and your creativity, but at the same time, you need a good foundation in technology to execute these ideas. So what kind of tools are we using here, teaching you? Game engines like Unity and Unreal codings, Unreal. So of course, you've probably seen a lot of applications on your mobile phones or in games, and that is when Unity and Unreal are being used. And modeling and sculpting are very important to create the assets, the 3D models, and so on. And virtual reality and augmented reality tools are also coming into play here, where you can actually create and prototype interesting new sculptures, models, or visions in virtual reality itself. And the hardware and the peripherals, that means like all the external stuff like sensors, haptics, and so on, are also always in a progress and always keep on moving. And that's also one of our aspects, of course, that we, as I said in the beginning, we are always incorporating the newest cool stuff. Yeah, and as such a technologically open-minded study program, we are always keeping in mind the other developments out there, so such as mapping and tracking of the external world, which makes a lot of sense in terms of mixed reality. New input and output devices, something like speech to text, and what kind of new input ways are possible there. Then, of course, the connectivity with everything else. Internet of Things is an important factor, especially regarding the industry. So Industry 4.0, how can you work with, use an interface to control, factories and machines? And of course, the big theme of artificial intelligence that we are also incorporating, for example, in generating virtual worlds, characters, so content. How can we use this to create content? Yeah, and so we are doing an application round once a year, always in the winter semester in the Bachelor of Arts. The application phase has started already for the international and will be finished by the 1st of June. You can apply via UniAssist, and at the same time, there will be two things that another thing that you have to do. So we are based on sending a portfolio of your works, 3 works, because it's a creative study program. That means we will do an examination of your creativity and your motivation as well. So in the first round, you can send us 3 works. They don't have to be full-fledged 3D models or games or things like that, but we want to see that there's a passion for making things or the creativity. So maybe if you dabbled already with a bit of 3D modeling, or you have interesting drawings of worlds, virtual worlds, world building, and so on, yeah, you can send that to us. And if in the first round you are selected, you will get to the next round, which incorporates an interview with us, online interview with us for 15 minutes. So we get to know you and the motivation, and a little creative task that you have to perform there, and just to see how you react to kind of like unexpected creative tasks at sometimes. So to also check out the flexibility as well. So we have the international people and the people that live in Germany, and we try to mix it all up in a good fashion. Yeah, you will the examination itself will be somewhat in July. So you don't have to apply right now, and you won't get any feedback until until the application phase is done. So take your time to develop your portfolio. And you can also actually, if my email is visible here through my German university, write me an email. You can also get feedback from, and here's some get some feedback from our students. We have a Discord channel where you can ask them about, hey, what should I put into my portfolio? These are questions that I can't answer. Obviously, I can't tell you somebody, they should do that and don't tell the other person. But you can ask our students, and they're always glad to help. We have a very dynamic, lively Discord channel, and yeah, always really curious about new people here. So this is it. I think we all believe here in our study program that the quote that Tim Cook said, we are in the same direction, is we believe augmented reality is going to change the way we use technology forever. We are already seeing things that will transform the way you work, play, connect, and learn. So, I mean, we are in a way very early with our program. It's a pioneering program. These devices, it's not yet in the mainstream. You have use cases in industry, you have use cases in games and education, as I said before, or in research. But you can see that already with Apple and the other players, that once the form factor of the devices, such as glasses, is getting smaller and smaller, the actual interface, the communication with the world and with the digital world is enhanced massively, because your interface is using all the 360 of space, so everything around you, and the depth of space. So every point in space is actually a point for content, a point for digital interaction, and also the interaction with the digital and the physical world. So if you think about it, in 10 years, the scenery will look much different, and you could be one of the people that really shape this future. In that sense, please contact us. I mean, here's also an info address. We also have an Instagram channel, which is still called Expanded Realities. The switch takes a little bit of time, but if you Google us as well, augmented and virtual reality design, that was one of the good, the positive changes of the name, that now you can actually find us on Google. And yeah, we are happy to answer your questions and to get to know you. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Professor, for your presentation. And let me now open the floor for the live Q&A session. So there are some questions, quite a few, and I don't think dear attendees will have enough time to answer all the remaining questions, because there are plenty of, but we'll try our best. Professor, let me start with you. Question for you. So this is more like a bureaucratic type of question. So is it a bachelor level program? The question is, do you have your own Studienkolleg? If not, which course should I do in order to qualify for the program? So I suppose that the student is coming from abroad, and his or her high school diploma does not meet yet the German requirements. So what you would suggest in this regard?
Yes, you can apply at our program, and then in the meantime, you can visit a Studienkolleg, which is organized by the University of Applied Sciences. What specifically, it's a rare case, I have to admit. Yeah, usually you will, if you go through the uni, but I make another point, a process, and then it's easy to get into our study program if you met the creative requirements. But also we have a specialty. If we can also evaluate you beyond uni assist based on your outstanding artistic aptitude, it's called. So if you feel like you're really creative and do a lot of work in this, and you might think you might have a chance, you can just apply through that, and then we'll take you. We did that before with people, but we have a student colleague here, and that you can also run through as a preparation for.
Oh, great. Okay, great. Good to know. Thank you very much. Okay, next question now I will address for DW. So the question is, recommendation letter should be from employer or only, or do we need to get it from university professors and mentors as well? And how many recommendation letters in total?
Hello. The recommendation letter should be from the employer. There is to be, if it depends how many employers. It's better to have the recommendation letters from all the employers during if there is 1 year of professional experience, or depending for the scholarship holders, 2 years of professional experience. If there are several employers, that there should be the recommendation letter from all of them. And university professors is no longer necessary, the recommendation letter.
Okay, clear.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your answer. That was very clear. Now, Professor Hausmeier, I will ask, thank you for addressing already one of the questions. I saw you're quick. So for Darmstadt, I have 0 experience in the field and math is not really my friend, but I'm very interested in this domain. Do you think I have a chance to get into the program, or do you think it doesn't make sense as I will struggle with the content?
Yeah, that is a question we sometimes get, and if you really hate math, I have to say that it can be difficult. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it nice because there are times you are going through coding here, but it depends. I mean, you don't have to be a total math crack. You just have to understand encoding logic. And we're getting with you really start from the basics. So nobody has to come here and be a programmer. That's what you learn with us. So, but if you're interested in the steps of logic, then give it a chance. And also, and you will find out in the interview. So that's what I would recommend. Also, the difference to math and maybe computer science is what you do here is very practical. So you see the effect of coding, of using math in action, of logic, and that sometimes can be very gratifying and motivating. So maybe you find the beauty in math if you haven't found it yet.
Great. Thank you for the answer. A fair answer, an honest answer. And now I have a question for DW again. Coming back to you, do you have a semester abroad option in IMS program? Here is a question.
Well, technically no, because the program is in Bonn. So all 4 semesters should be conducted in Bonn. That is for the people who will self-finance. However, if you do apply for the scholarship and you're successful and will be awarded the scholarship, you will be completing the 4th semester in the country where you traveled from. And you will be writing your master's thesis there, which will be supervised by 1 professor in Bonn and a professor in that country or in the region where we have partners. So that could be like the compromise or alternative for someone who would like to go abroad for their master thesis in the 4th semester.
Okay.
But it's not mandatory at all, and it's not included in our program.
Okay.
We teach on site.
All right, great. Going back to Darmstadt, in terms of basic documents for application, do you need only a school certificate?
That is, I think, that the Uni Assist. I don't know if you've heard of that. That is a general application route for entering universities in Germany, as far as I understand it. And they will check your last school certificates, but also we have, since it's an English speaking course, I think we have B2 level of English, for example, that will be as necessary as well. And but a regular high school certificate should be sufficient. It depends a lot. I think they need a lot of checking, Uni Assist, whether these actual certificates from your home country match with the system here in Germany. So that it's hard to say there's one general thing. Yeah. It's important if you are deciding to study or try to get in here to start the Uni Assist route as soon as possible. That's what I would recommend, because it takes a lot of time, and then they have questions and things like that. So look into that as soon as possible. If you
That's true. I also would suggest, dear attendees, if you do not know what Uni Assist is, or you've heard about it, we also have articles regarding Uni Assist. Please go to our website and you can read about Uni Assist. And then we also have webinars regarding this Uni Assist application procedure. So feel free to attend. So another question now, there are two questions, but I will combine them because they're similar for both programs. For DW, there was a program, the question, what are the do's and don'ts during the interview selection process? And another one for the Darmstadt was what happens during this personal interview process? Are there any suggestions from your side? Maybe let's start with Darmstadt regarding interview, maybe a few words, and then to DW.
Yeah, I think without spoiling too much, I think I can say that, you know, we want to get to know you and also just ask you about the motivation to study this and the motivation for the medium. I would leave it at that. That we see that you thought about the medium and that you are excited to do it, because we need in the end people that really want to study this. It's for you and for us as well. It must be the match that we are passionately working on this together. That's the main reason. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And in case of DW?
Okay, so in the case of DW, it's pretty similar. We also want to get to know you. And as you saw, it's very competitive. So amongst the 25 to 35 students, only 10 can be awarded a scholarship. So what we would say is a do, please prepare. And yeah, do not have any distractions or noise in the background, and be in a place where you're able to focus on the conversation. Otherwise, if you don't understand the question well, or you're distracted by something else, it might give off an impression that you're not interested while you actually might be interested. And it's not like a knowledge interview. It's more about learning more about your experience, your motivation, what you hope to achieve with the degree after, what careers you would like to pursue. So just be well prepared and be focused. I don't know if my colleague would like to add something.
No, I just want to ask, just be yourself and have faith in yourself and you manage.
Great. Thanks a lot. For Darmstadt, now I will combine these two questions which are similar to each other. So can I apply for 2 or more courses for Darmstadt University of Applied Sciences? This is more like a general question. And if I do so, will it improve my chances of getting into Darmstadt, Hochschule Darmstadt?
Yes, you can apply. I don't know if it improves your chances. I mean, if you feel great at what you do. But what some people do here is they apply because we are the media campus. They apply for animation and game, you know, for example, whether I want to think about like maybe going for more the game bit, but also very interested in our technology, then they also at the same time apply for our program. So there are overlaps here and there. And but I think there need to be, at least from my point of view, somewhat matching. I think otherwise, you know, it's in a similar area. Otherwise, I don't get the motivation then. Really.
That's 100%. I saw this question several times. This for DW, I think at least twice. Maybe you could also voice it up once again. There's a question: should the academic degree be attested from HEC if applying for DAD? So it seems that HEC is something related to specifically to Pakistan. At the end, it's for Pakistan. So would you comment on this, DW?
Yes, I had replied to this question, but I can repeat it here for everyone in the group. So I'm not sure what this institution is, but the APS certificate is only required for China, Vietnam, and India. This you need to submit when you apply, and any other verifications or attestations are not required at the application stage. If you are successful and receive an acceptance letter, you will receive further instructions from the university about which documents you need to attest, or if you need further verifications.
Okay, clear. And last question, and we can call it a day. This is for both. I saw it several times. Professor Hausmeier, let me start with you. Do you have any age limitations for your program? This is basically the question.
I think age really doesn't matter. We have also people that are 18 and we have people that are 38. So it is more about about you as a person, as a character, as your interests and motivation. This is what we are looking at, and so we don't have really any biases there.
Great, thank you. And in case of Deutsche Welle?
Yeah, I think we have already replied to 2 or 3 questions, similar questions. No, there are no age limits for applying to the IMS, for the IMS.
All right, thank you very much. So, yes.
Can we add maybe, oops.
Good, please, yeah.
For the scholarship, there is no age limit as well. However, in the degree, the last degree, academic degree, should not be longer than 6 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, great.
That's the only criteria.
No, that's important, of course. And yeah, so we are running out of time already. I would like to say, first of all, thank you to our guests for your presentations and also for answering the questions. For attendees, thank you for joining and for such a great interest and huge interest in the programs. If you have more questions to one of the programs, of course, you can get in touch with them. They encourage you to do so, and I also encourage you to do so because they are happy to help, I'm sure. And if you have general questions regarding, for example, APS was mentioned, UniAssist was mentioned several times, or general visa issues, or other general questions regarding studying in Germany, of course, you can get in touch with us, read our articles, get in touch with us, attend our general webinars, and there you will find answers to at least most of the questions, so to say. And yeah, so if you would also like to leave us feedback for today's webinar, you can also gladly do so through our Facebook and Google channels. We always take the feedback from you into account to improve further our webinars. That being said, thank you once again, everyone, a lot, and I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. And for the attendees, good luck with your applications. Take care and bye-bye.